Hello, gearheads. Welcome back to another spine-tingling episode of Outlaw Motors. We're still working on old Valiant. I've been driving it for a couple weeks. Everything's working good on it. Today, we're going to try to see if the AC will work. I know there's hundreds of videos out there on recharging this stuff, but none of them show an old Dodge V-compressor, and none of them show you the high port and the low port and all that stuff. So they just squirt the Freon in it and go. So hopefully you'll find something here that helps you out. Let's take a look under there. First off, we have our old style gauges with the old small twist-on fittings. And we have our old motor that has AC. And we've got one of those vacuum pumps that's in every video. Then we've got our special gas, unnamed gas, that we're going to put in it. All right. Now, unlike the other videos, I'm not going to shake the camera around with one hand while I'm working on this thing. I'm going to try to leave the camera still so you can make sense of it. The first thing I did, I've already worked on this a little bit behind the scenes. I put these AC Pro valves in there. I replaced the Schrader valves. It says R134, but this old system is an R12, of course. This kit has two small Schraders, and it's AC Pro Kit LR-14. It says it right up here, LR-14. Two small Schraders and plastic caps, but I'm using the original metal plastic caps. They're just beautiful. They're in real good condition. Take them babies off with the 1/2-inch wrench. Set them up here. Now, they're both the same size, so you got to figure out which one's the high side. The high pressure is this side here. And that's the low pressure side, the vacuum. And I think they call it that because if you look, the high side is up a little bit higher than the other side. Or you can use the scientific mechanical method. The high pressure comes out of this, goes past this fitting and around here to the condenser coil in front of the radiator, and it's hot. The high pressure is hot. It cools it off here, and then it goes on around through the dryer and up through the firewall into the car, into the passenger compartment. And then into the evaporator that cools down inside the car, and then that low pressure gas comes back here to the compressor here on the low pressure side. And yes, it is physically lower than the high side. That should explain it. Okay, we've got our old gauges hooked up. The red and blue knobs were broken, So I just took those off. I'm using a little wrench. There was no pressure at all, nothing inside this system. And so we got the blue one to the low side and the red one to the high side. You've seen all that. And then we put this down on our vacuum pump and fire that thing up. Fire this thing up. Just like you've seen on a million other videos, it'll pull that moist air out of there. And we want it to get down to minus 30 there. We'll meet back here in a minute. Okay. They usually say let that run for an hour. Well, here it is 3 hours later. And looks like it's going to hold pretty good. We'll hook up our gas. Okay, we've got our special gas hooked up. And it's going up here. We're going to go ahead and turn that on. And if you watch, I like Scotty's video where he warns you don't refill your own AC, and then he spends an hour showing you how to refill your own AC. He says keep your tank upright. And he says purge it here. We better set the camera down to do that. That ought to do it. And then we're going to crack open only the low side. Don't open the high side from this point on. We're going to open that low side, and that's going to suck all that stuff up in there. You can hear it filling. Even the high side needle's going up. That's just the vacuum pulling that stuff in. We haven't even started the motor yet. Okay, it's evening out. Let's start it up. Okay, we've got her running, and temperature's at 80. We're going to hit max AC, and turn the fan on and see what happens. Feels cold. Let's go check under the hood. Compressor's running. Hoses are cold. There's 100 on the high side and 40 on the low side. This is hot. This is a little bit cool, but not very much. 100 on the, it's above 100 on the high side. Turn this over a minute. The tank is blow cold, it's real cold. The low side is cold. Compressor is off and on. Gauge, high side's about 120. It is about 80 degrees out. It's cycling. Feels cold. Let's check inside. Well, it's freezing in here. Even though the thermostat just says 70, I don't know, it's out of a refrigerator. There's my emergency stereo since the original unit got stowed. It's cold in here. I'm gonna have to roll down a window. Okay, it's blowing cold inside. We're going to turn the tank off. Then we're going to turn the low side gauge off. It's going from 120 on the high to about 40 on the low. We'll go ahead and unhook these hoses. It's blowing real cold on the inside, but that thermometer ain't the greatest. Caps back on. Nice little factory metal cap. Blow cold. Well, I think that'll about do it. After 50 years, the AC blows cold. See you gearheads next time.